Hey everyone, it's me, Kimberly Clark, and I'm very excited because I am here with my first ever nail tutorial. Today we're going to be doing this kind of glitter rainbow ombre with some kind of abstract animal print graphics on top, using some new polishes that I got for Christmas from Kiko Milano. Welcome to my nail tutorial! The reason I started a YouTube channel was so I could kind of give back to the community that taught me everything that I know about drag, because I didn't have a drag mom or anything, or a drag family really. I just kind of learned how to do all of this on my own through people who posted videos that taught me how to do all different types of things involving makeup and everything else. The first types of videos that I started watching on YouTube, however, were long before I started doing drag, when I started getting into nail art. So I've been doing nails in a kind of creative way for about 2 years now, and I have a kind of big nail polish collection, which I'll show you someday. I always kind of tend to do really abstract, kind of interesting, colorful things. So I figured, since the first videos that I started watching on YouTube were nail tutorials from Miss Jen Fabulous and people like that, I decided my first tutorial would also be a nail tutorial. And it's kind of perfect timing because for Christmas I got some great new nail polishes from Wafa, my grandmother's caretaker, who's a very stylish Egyptian lady, and she got me some polishes from this brand Kiko Milano, which I'd never heard of before, but I did some research and it's a European brand, but they do have several retail outlets in the States. They have hundreds in other countries, but in the States there's only a couple. And I don't know where Wafa got these, probably somewhere in Jersey. But she basically got me this little gift set. It comes with 5 polishes and these little flag glam crystals. But they just look like little sequins, or little rhinestones, the little backs. Anyway, more importantly, the polishes. These polishes are all from this Kiko line called Sun Show. They are just these beautiful kind of iridescent glitter polishes, but with very finely milled glitter. Got number 468, which is this beautiful kind of like rose goldy nude color. It reminds me very much of Formula X for Sephora's Grandiose. I thought of that immediately as soon as I saw this. 469, which is kind of bright orange color. The closest thing that I have is this older Sephora by OPI orangey gold polish. Once a cheetah, always a cheetah. Next up is this purple color, this kind of amethyst color. This is number 473. This reminded me of Taboo by Chanel, even though it's not an exact dupe. Then I have this blue, 474. Very nice. And then finally I have this green, number 476. So I have these 5 polishes, and I decided to do this little kind of ombre situation, and then I kind of amped up the look by adding some graphic details on top. I've had this look on for almost a week. It's been 6 days and there's almost hardly any chipping. Now, glitter polishes tend to wear better because they adhere to the nail a little bit more. That's why they're goddamn hard to get off. But I will say, for glitter polishes, these held up really well. They are very affordable also. I saw polishes on the UK website that ranged anywhere from 50 pence to £3 and a little bit more than that. So roughly we're talking like $5 or $6 a bottle, which is great deal. If you can find Kiko polishes, I would say go for it. I can safely say the glitter polishes from Kiko get a big thumbs up for me. Now, to talk about the formula just a little bit, exactly the consistency of the glitter. This is Butter London's Dosh. The glitter in this is very similar in terms of mill. It's a similar grain size of glitter to that. Also similar in grain size are these glitters from OPI. This one is Lucerne-tainly Look Marvelous. again with the names. Same as my Private Jet, very similar in size. And then a European polish that I have that is slightly chunkier, but is comparable, I would say, is this Peggy Sage Mineral Style in the shade Purple Crystal. And this glitter is a little bit chunkier, but I would say that it kind of wears the same in terms of sparkle and glitter size as these Kiko Sun shows. So there you have it. If you want to see how I got these nails, stay tuned and enjoy. Hi fingers! What you will need for this look are your 5 glitter polishes. They could be any color combination that you like, and some makeup sponges, those little disposable ones. Now the first thing that I like to do with any nail look is moisturize my hands, because you're not going to be able to for a really long time. Then I take some nail polish remover on a cotton round and just clean off any excess polish, moisturizer, anything on my nails. First, I always start off with a coat of OPI's Chip Skip. It is a nail dehydrator that helps any polish that you put on top of it really stick and adhere to the nail and not budge. This is kind of an extra step, but I find that it really is effective in keeping my manicure lasting as long as possible. Then I'm going to do a coat of OPI's Nail Envy. This is a nail strengthening base coat. They come in different formulas depending on what your nail needs are. This is just the basic formula, but I also use the formula for peeling and soft nails. Now here's a little tip: if you are running low on a polish, just use your one hand with the brush in it, stick your brush into the bottle, and kind of angle it and tip it all the way over. Now if you have very little polish, none of it's going to spill out, but this just ensures that you kind of get the most of your polish as you're running out of it. Stick in the brush, rock the bottle over. Rock and load. Make sure to do the tips of each nail to kind of seal in that base coat. Don't worry about getting any of this on your cuticles. We'll be cleaning stuff up in a bit. I like to let this dry for just a minute or so, and I use a fan to speed things along. So now I'm going in with my first color. I'm going to do 1 color per nail on each hand. So I've got 5 colors, 5 fingers. This is that kind of rose goldy neutral color. And I'm just going to do a full coat. Look how glittery and perfect this polish is. Isn't it fabulous? Now I'm going to go over the nail, and then, like with the base coat, I'm going to swipe over the tips of the nail to kind of lock in that look. Using my second color, green. Now I'm kind of just putting these on random fingers, but I'm kind of keeping track of what I'm doing. I'm trying not to put similar colors next to each other. Like I didn't put the orange and the kind of rose gold next to each other. I didn't put the purple and the blue next to each other. Just trying to kind of make a lot of contrast between adjacent fingers. Kind of will help the look. Finishing up all of the nails on my first hand, just doing a quick first coat. For my second hand, I'm going to do the same thing, 1 color per nail, but I'm going to make sure I'm using different colors for each of the same nails. For example, my pinky on my left hand is orange, so my pinky on my right hand will be blue. Ring finger on my left hand is that orange color, so I'm doing the rose gold on my right hand, and so on. We're going to be ombreing the contrasting color from the same finger on the other hand, so you want to make sure those are different. You'll see what I mean. A tip for painting with your non-dominant hand is to just make sure that both of your hands are touching the table at all times. I'm just going to go through all of my nails again and do a quick second coat of the same colors. For the second coat, you don't have to worry about going over the tips. Just get that color on there. And now this is really important. You really want to let this dry because we're going to be using a sponge technique which can easily rip up your color. So now I'm just going in with the corner of a makeup sponge and taking the opposing color from the other hand, from the same finger. So my pointer finger on my left hand that I'm painting is rose gold, and on my right hand it's orange. So I'm taking the orange color, putting it on the sponge, and sponging it, just dabbing it on the end of my first hand. This color shows up a little bit more. I'm putting purple on top of green, just doing a little kind of overcoat on top, just going about halfway down the nail to kind of create a spongy effect. Some makeup sponge ombres involve using both colors on the sponge and kind of creating the ombre on the sponge and then rolling it over the nail. Since we're working with glitter, you don't really have to worry about being that precise. The glitter kind of helps you out in terms of blurring those edges. So your ombre doesn't have to be perfect, the glitter kind of takes care of the rest. I'm just using corners on the same sponge, but you could use different makeup sponges for this if you don't want to get your fingers too messy. But as you can see now, I'm using the same color corners from the same sponge to go over my other hand. And as you can see, there are kind of opposing colors on each hand. Like the thumbs, for example, one's green on the bottom, purple on top, the other is purple on the bottom, green on top, and so on and so forth. Now you can totally stop here with just a lovely glitter ombre and do your top coat and clean up and everything. But I'm going in with a cream color. This is Pink Friday by OPI, and I'm just taking it on the actual brush that comes in the bottle, just wiping off most of the polish and then using the corner of the brush to kind of create some abstract animal print leopard spot type things. You don't have to worry too much about being really careful with this, but you do want to just make sure that you don't get too many globs of polish on there. You really want to work with the corner of the brush to try to make as precise and organic looking a shape as possible. Now you could go full on leopard if you want by just doing the C's, keeping them all in the same direction, but I'm a little kooky, so I'm going to do kind of random, splotchy, kind of otherworldly animal print. Go over all of my nails with this technique, trying to keep it random, mix it up a bit, and have no two nails look exactly the same. Again, utilizing that technique of keeping both hands touching the table while I'm painting my dominant hand with my non-dominant hand. Once we've had this coat down, we're going to take a little striping polish. Now these are just those really cheap little striper bottles that you can get from a beauty supply store. I'm taking it in a opaque creamy white color, and make sure you wipe off your brush completely. Make sure there's no drips up in that top part of the stem of the brush that will gloop on down to your nail. And I'm just going to go in with plenty of polish on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to roughly outline some of the edges of this pattern. This is going to kind of create like a little highlight, cartoony kind of pop out effect. Now, dip back into the polish as often as you need to kind of keep a sufficient amount of product on the end of that tiny brush. If you have too little product, your strokes are going to turn out a little too brush-like, which is sometimes a good look, but for this particular tutorial, we want it to be as crisp and thick and opaque as possible. So make sure as you're brushing on, you continue to go in, wipe off that tip, and create those bold, cartoony lines. I'm outlining some of the shapes, I'm dotting the edges of some of the shapes. I'm just kind of going freeform, just trying to constantly looking at all of my nails together just to make sure I'm not doing the same thing on any two nails. Want to keep it random, keep it abstract. Now, if you kind of mess up a little bit and put too much of the white on, like I kind of did in the thumb, You can always go back in with the pink polish like I'm doing here and just covering up some of that white to make it look a little more balanced. It's kind of a back and forth game. Just work with it until it looks perfect. And there you go. That is the polish step done. Now I'm going to clean up. This is how I clean up all of my nail looks. I take an ELF small angled brush or any type of angled eyeliner brush, and I'm going to take some pure acetone, pour it into my little Dayton, Ohio shot glass, and I'm just going to make sure the brush is nice and clean, dip it in the acetone, and then just brush off any polish that has gotten on my cuticles, around the nail, and under the tip of my nail, and anywhere else on my fingers that I do not want it. I find that working with an angled brush is a lot easier than using a Q-tip or even one of those little pointy Q-tips. You just get a lot more control and specificity of exactly where you're putting down that acetone. You can use this technique with regular nail polish remover, but I find that acetone is just way quicker, more effective, and really works well with glitter polishes. Now, this is going to really dry out your skin, so that's kind of why we moisturize beforehand, and we're going to finish up using a cuticle oil or a cuticle massage cream. But first, clean, clean, clean. Make sure you dab off any excess acetone on that little cotton round or your paper towel, and keep wiping off any glitter that you've collected or any polish you've collected on your brush between each finger, just to make sure you're not just redistributing the glitter, excess glitter and polish to each nail. Voila! Now I'm going in with my favorite top coat, Seche Vite. This is a really intense, awesome, quick drying top coat. It is full of tons of insane chemicals, and that's why it is so amazing. I always take a large glob of this, start at the base of the nail, and lightly brush towards the end of my nail, going back into the bottle to make sure that I have plenty of top coat on my nail. You do not want to go in super thin with this. It dries very quickly, and the kind of thicker the initial dollop you put on your nail, the smoother and more gel-like your manicure will turn out. Again, as with the base coat and the first coat of the colored polish, I top off the tips of each nail with a swipe just to seal in the design. As you can see my thumb, I go in with several dollops just to make sure I fully coat that nail. Again, you do not want to be stingy with this. If you use too little product and your nails have not fully dried, you may mess up your design and your nails will not look completely smooth. So that's it. Here is the finished look. Beautiful rainbow glitter ombre with an abstract otherworldly animal print. Once you're done, go ahead and use your cuticle oil or massage cream to re-moisturize those hands. And that's it. Well, thanks for watching my first ever nail tutorial. I hope you enjoy trying this look or swapping out the colors, doing your own damn thing, putting a different pattern on top, doing whatever you want. They're your nails. And if you know about Kiko or have any other tips or advice on how I can get it in the States or what I should get if I do get it and stuff like that, please leave in the comment section below. I know some of you European people out there might be familiar with this. Hey girls. Also, let me know if you want to see other types of nail tutorials. I've showed you my nails in every video that I've posted, and I've got some kind of unique looks, I think. And so if you wanted to try something or have a question of how I got certain looks on my nails, just let me know and I'll try to respond and see if I can help you out. Let's do some great nail art together, right? I'm Kimberly Clark. Thank you for watching. Bye. Let's get into it.